Grounded 2 literally showed everything that is wrong with gaming industry right now. And if you ever thought and had a question whether why Grounded 2 even exists, then you understand exactly what do I mean. And if you don't, let me explain it. The existence of Grounded 2 shows how literally very little choice the gaming industry has and what games they can produce and that they need to produce because of few very interesting things. Let me talk about this and give you a real understanding why Grounded 2 even exists and whether it's actually a good thing or not. Spoiler alert, it's neither good nor bad. It's just how the reality is, and the sooner we accept it, the sooner it will probably go away. You see, it all goes to money. Unfortunately so. Because yeah, gaming industry is an industry and goes towards how much money they can make from the players and from games. And to explain what do I mean by that, I will give you an example on the Grounded itself. Grounded was a really good game that launched in 2020 in early access, and it was immediate success. It was sold like hotcakes, even though it was not on AAA level, it was sold really well. It was played really well on a Game Pass, and with each and every update and iteration, it got more and more players. But as the game aged and as it released in full access, the game reached its pinnacle. And by pinnacle, meaning that the most players got it for the full price. After that, the update just slowed down because all the money that was for this game was used up and everything just slowed down. And because game did not get much of updates, it did not get an influx of new players. Because it didn't get an influx of new players, it didn't get influx of money, which in turn meant that it didn't get updates, and it was a vicious cycle that unfortunately cannot be broken until someone will sacrifice something, meaning that the money will come out from somewhere. So usually in games like this or any other games, money needs to come up from somewhere, and this somewhere is from microtransaction. The in-game shops usually is the thing that supports the life of the game. And even though I really hate when games go with the full-on microtransactions, that's usually what keeps the game alive. The whales that are spending a huge amount of money on in-game purchases is the thing that keeps game alive. But what happens if the game does not have a microtransaction? Well, they rely on game sales. And to sell the game, you need to make people know about the game. That's where the money towards marketing go towards. So they need to get money from somewhere and pay it to marketing. And by marketing, I mean, well, people usually like me. Companies are approaching YouTubers or TikTokers or Instagrammers or whatever that thing is popular right now, and they pay a certain amount of money, like 500,000, whatever amount of money it is, just for the content creator to create a content about the game. This usually reignites interest and therefore increases sales. But this thing cannot go forever. If there is no content to create, if there is no huge influx of players, the new content is not created because yeah, game devs require money to survive. No matter how altruistic they are, they need to feed their family, and therefore game usually just dies. But there is a solution for that. An ugly solution is that take everything that you learned from the game and repackage it, get the money to do some minor upgrades and release it as a completely new game. That's what Grounded 2 actually did. I actually made a video comparing Grounded 1 and Grounded 2, and you'll probably hear that the changes between the first and second game is not a lot. And even visually, games do not look that much different, even though game engines are different, and probably as the game will progress to early access and will get more patched up and will get more performance upgrades, yes, the differences will become bigger, but they're not that big. Technology leap from 2020 to 2025, or even from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, is not really that drastic, at least in the style of this game. So you will not see a huge upgrade there. You will see some just minor gameplay upgrade that would probably easily implemented in the first game in the first place. Like for example, they could add biomes or add some places that you can go and explore towards, or add Omni-tool easily, or add even buggies really easily. They could have done that. They could have taken the budget that was for the second game and inserted it in the first game, and we would get everything that we got right now in the first game. But they didn't do it because that was not financially viable. And that's all because of the hype that the launch of the game usually generates. This is the hype that gets the most amount of money in the smallest amount of time. Game launches, Game Pass announcements, conferences, content creators. We usually seek something new to give towards our viewers, and game companies are seeking something new to give their player bases. And that's what generates money. I don't want this to be true. I don't want my gaming world to be like that, but unfortunately it is. If Obsidian would put everything that they release on Grounded 2 into the Grounded 1, they would not make even fraction of the money back. Even fraction. What they did by releasing Grounded 2 was financially viable, and it's all that is. It is a trial of continuation of Grounded without burying it. Without this, Grounded would become one of the games that everyone forgot that was really good back in the day, but no one is playing right now. Even though Grounded 1 right now is not dead and will not die for quite a while, eventually it would have died and it will die now because of Grounded 2. Because yeah, you get almost everything that you got in the first game and more in the second game, so why would you not play it? Plus, because it's available on a Game Pass, you don't need to even pay full price, and it's not even full price right now, and it may even cost less right now for Grounded 2 because it's an early access game than the full price, no sale price of Grounded, the first one. That is an ugly reality that we're living. And even, this is not even the first time that this thing actually happened. Remember Destiny? Yes, the game that everyone loved and played suddenly was announced that would die really soon because Destiny 2 was supposed to release. Because Destiny 1 did not have a ground base for what was it supposed to do in order to survive for a really long time and generate money, while Destiny 2 had exactly that. Remember how Destiny 2 launched? It was basically a bare bones game and it was expanded more and more and more and more because the business model of Destiny 2 was microtransactions and expansions. That's how they're making money, and that's how Destiny 2 survived to this day. And Destiny 2 was not built in that way, or maybe it was, and they just decided to capitalize on the success of the first game to create an infinite second game. Destiny 2 is decade old and still goes strong, and I don't think the Grounded 2 will survive that long, but at least it expanded the franchise's lifetime by at least 5 more years, and that's what matters the most in a business, and that's what matters the most for the Microsoft and every gaming company. Yes, this is an ugly truth. Yes, this is the thing that I even do not like, but this is how the world works. It's an industry, and you need to understand that industry needs to make money. It does not care whether something is expensive or cheap, or whether you can afford it or cannot afford it. They only care about the thing that matters the most for them, and it's money. Money feeds people. Money makes people work, and money makes people to create more things, whether you like it or not. So yeah, I guess this is why Grounded 2 exists. And even though I do not like it, it's still good that people still have jobs, and I really hope that when Grounded 2 will eventually release, they will not be let go, and they will continue creating amazing games and continue improving amazing games. But yeah, the future will show, and I'm trying to be optimistic for the future like that. Yeah, and if you, by the way, haven't watched my actual review of Grounded 2, I have it right here. You can watch the full review right here. And if you want to see the differences between Grounded 1 and Grounded 2, I even have an entire video about that right here as well. This will be for today. Don't forget to subscribe right here as well, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care.